does the system, and forgive me if I say the wrong thing, this is a very new space for me, but does the system make us almost compete on how disabled we are?
Yeah, so I was really thinking that, and I think that's a lot of experience for a lot of people who are maybe not identifying as disabled, is this feeling of, am I disabled enough? Am I disabled enough to even say I'm disabled? And I felt a lot of people who, I like to call them baby disabled. And I really like this idea of coming into disability identity as a birth and not as a death, you know, coming into our own sense of being. And I know that people who've come into their autistic identity have experienced that too. And I think, to me, it's just like another level of community that we can bring together. And one thing I really love about the disability community is this idea that actually our differences, like in our disabilities, in the things that we find difficult, the discrimination that we faced overall in society is more similar than our differences in disability. And that's what we need to come together about is, you know, how can we fight these systems? How can we fight ableism? How can we fight these systems of oppression, really, to bring that community together, to even despite our differences in disability, in whatever it might be. And this is really where we come to that broader conversation about intersectionality, right? You know, people's experiences of discrimination overall, whether they be trans, whether they be a person of colour, whether they be a woman, or whatever intersections that they're falling at, those differences in the experience, our similarities come where we're facing that discrimination, where we're facing that ableism. And, you know, I'm sure every person in the room who is identifying as autistic or is identifying as disabled or whatever you might be identifying as has faced those discriminations before. And what can we do as a collective? What can we do to build on the systems, you know, the systems that have already existed? And how can we continue to build that community? And how can we continue to build that fight to make a better world for all of us?